What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Angry Jackalope, Rob Ricks. Oh, fucking hell. Let's see. Backwoods, what's up? Tinchy, what's up? Jackalope. Suppers, Jay. Sup? Garen, in the house. The Bronx, Jackalope. Garen Thanalope. And Brian McCann. Welcome. It is Saturday, October 20th, 2018, and I almost didn't make this show. I almost didn't. Little background while everybody's getting in that's going to come in. My daughter has been forever and a day telling me about a convention she wanted to go to here in Utah called Anime Bonsai! And she was dressed up like a JoJo's Bizarre Adventure character. And goggles in the chat. Goggles in the chat. What's in the chat? Oh yeah. You know what? That chat's gonna catch up. It does that every fucking show. I don't know what's up. Like it'll sit there, it'll just lag for a second, and all of a sudden, and I don't know. It's fucking. It's a weird thing. So I had forgot it was going to be on the 20th, which is today, and it's over in. It was over in Layton, and Layton is like almost an hour away from here. So my wife had figured, you know what? Well, the kids are sitting there cosplaying it and everything else and doing their little convention thing, whatnot. We will go hang out at your cousin's house. See it all coming in now. See all that shit. It didn't show all of them either. It just did some of them. It's fucking bizarre. I don't know what the fuck. It's weird. The chat thing's fucking weird. Anyway, and originally she was like, "Well, I'm gonna be at this motherfucker till 9:30." And I was like, 9:30? Why does that bother me? There's a reason that bothers me. Oh, could it be I have a fucking stream tonight at 7? So, my wife had her iPad and everything else, and I was fully prepped to do a live stream in the rough from Ogden. That's what I was gonna do. But my kids got tuckered out. They got too goddamn tired. And they said, "Dad, come get us." I was like, "Oh, sweet." So, I hung out with my cousin Tammy and her family for a little bit. Kids got tired, swooped them up, shot back home, and started to get ready for this. And the other problem that I have right now is, I don't know, me and the wife ate something earlier. We're both fucked up. I'm not as fucked up as she's fucked up. Like, our stomachs are just jacked. So I think there's only going to be an Angry Jackalope stream tonight. There's not going to be a Robert or Rick stream tonight. So I'm going to share some of the news that was going to be on the Robert R. Ricks, just because it's just rough, My stomach feels like I kicked in the stomach by a fucking horse. And the crazy thing is, this has been a alcoholic week for me. Monday, I drank a whole bottle of Lucid, which is not very smart. Lucid, as some of you longtime viewers will know, is some absinthe, and that motherfucker is 123 proof. And I drank a whole bottle of that shit. I do not recommend that for people with weak constitutions, because normally I could drink a bottle of something and I don't ever get hangovers, but I had a rough Tuesday. And then let's see, Tuesday was inconsequential. I went to bed at 7 o'clock at night, and then I woke up the next day at 6 o'clock. I felt much better. Then Wednesday night, we had some friends over, and I didn't really drink a whole lot. I drank a little bit on Wednesday, and then Thursday was a little bit of company. I think again a little bit of alcohol, and then fucking yesterday, a whole bottle of Blackheart. Oh my fucking hell! So that might be the other reason my tum tum is a little right now. And it's funny because I have these energy drinks I was going to test out. I might drink one just because I am a little low on energy right now. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure out which one of these to actually drink. Um, Maybe this one because it's got juice in it. So maybe this one with the dancing fucking skeleton bitches and the dancing skeleton dude with the fucking mustache. I know that's probably racist. I just automatically assumed Mexican, but I don't know. That's just what it reminds me of. I'm not trying to be a racist prick. That's what the shit reminds me of. Um, the other thing too is again my good friend Paul Grimm, Grim Paul. If you're here in Utah, you want to check this shit out. I've actually gone on this tour, and it was pretty good. So I'm gonna play this in because I promised him I would do this just to try to get some more people to go check his stuff out. So if anybody in Utah is watching, every Monday, shit, I guess we only got what? Let me see here. How many more Mondays we got left in fucking October? We got one. We got two more Mondays left. So I'm gonna play his ad real quick. Be right back. And since I'm doing fucking little ads, I will only fucking bore you guys with this one again. I do want to remind you these are out. There is 38 left now, I guess. 38, I want to say. So that's if you like it, you like it. So anyway, enough of that shit. All right, so some bad news. Netflix, in their infinite wisdom, has decided to shit can Luke Cage, which I am not happy about. I really enjoyed Luke Cage on Netflix. Especially that second season with Bushmaster. I thought that was some really, really, really good storytelling. I'm not happy about that shit in the slightest. In the slightest. I'm really slightly perturbed about that. Last week they also canned Iron Fist, and I'm gonna make a prediction. So Iron Fist on its own didn't do so well. Luke Cage on its own did better, but I think, backwoods. Yes, I shipped out 2. Magic! You didn't see the notification. That's because the fucking YouTube is out to get me. Because of my shit I was talking about last fucking week. You know what I'm saying? It's fucking... Yeah, I know, man. I'm with you guys. This shit fucking irked me. But, remember now, Luke Cage and Iron Fist had another comic series called Heroes for Hire. I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna, instead of doing their one-offs, they're gonna put them together. So we'll have Misty Knight, we'll have Oh my god, I just said her fucking name earlier. Colleen. Colleen. She'll be there. Because they are the Daughters of the Dragon. That's the agency that they create. At the same time, Heroes for Hire is doing their shit. So I think that's what Netflix is gonna do. At least I hope that's what they're gonna do, and I hope in doing so they wrap up the threads that they left dangling for Luke Cage as well as Iron Fist. Because holy shit, I was blown away by that motherfucking shit. Now, since we're talking about fucking YouTube, um, with them not notifying Magic. Oh, okay, you did see it. I just didn't see it. Okay, it was on the PC. Okay, but in any event, I did want to talk a little bit about YouTube because last week we had a very mysterious situation that popped off on YouTube for about an hour and a half to 2 hours, depending on who you ask. There was no motherfucking YouTube, which my wife, we were laying in bed and she's like, babe, something wrong with the fucking internet? And I'm all, I don't think so. And then I looked at some other stuff. I said, no, everything's fine. I said, it just might be some app shit. You know what I'm saying? It might be some app shit. Maybe just restart your shit. So by the time it popped back on, we were pretty perplexed. So I was like, okay, well, we'll see. We'll see. Let's see. Hang on here. Brian says Disney Marvel are cutting back, looking to cancel all the Netflix series to switch them either to a Marvel or Disney on demand website. Yes, that is very true, Brian. Garen, what about Jessica Jones? You know what? I haven't heard anything yet, but I would think that they're going to probably chop her too. Daredevil is out for season 3 right now, and I think Daredevil does well enough that if they have a contract and they're still allowed to, I'm pretty sure Netflix will continue on that. The same as I'm pretty sure Netflix will continue a Punisher, because the Punisher was like the sleeper surprise hit that motherfuckers didn't expect. Okay, but it was really good. It was really fun, good. Now, I wanted to talk about this YouTube shit because there are some motherfuckers in my area of doing stuff. Let's see, mail in my area. Proven sketchy as a motherfucker, late Rob. Kid had 3 CDs arrive yesterday. Should have arrived last week. Yeah, I'm gonna just send out your order again, dude. Just on the fucking off chance that something funky happened. It's weird. I don't see your chat there, and I don't see your chat there, but I see it in the live stream over there. That's funny. That's funny. I'm telling you, man, this shit's fucking crazy. Stevie G in the motherfucking hizzy. What's up, man? It's good to see you. So, again, getting back to this YouTube shit, I have some other of my peers in the conspiracy arena that were talking some crazy shit in regards to saying, well, it's related to the outage that everybody was afraid was going to happen last week for 48 hours. They said the internet's going down and all this other bullshit because ICANN was updating some stuff. So I'm just listening to these fucking guys and I'm like, okay, you guys obviously are not network engineers. You don't do this. I fucking do network security and shit for a living. So I was sitting there listening to this and I'm like, okay, first and foremost, let's just simplify everything. YouTube is part of the Google monster machinery. There is a fucking massive, massive amount of server arrays that Google has in play. They have some dynamic shit that is just crazy. They have redundancy. They have just fucking millions of dollars a day in networking going on. So they want to say, they want to fucking say this was a DNS thing, okay? And it was related to the 48-hour update from ICANN, to which I say bullshit. That's not what fucking happened. The reason there was an outage is one of two fucking things. Either A, YouTube and Google were stripping something. Some people were saying it was an impact on the moon or something else. I don't think that's it. I really don't. I don't think people would give a flying fuck seeing something impact the moon because shit hits the moon all the time. You know, it's not that big of a fucking deal. If the moon was fucking fractured and broke, we'd fucking see that shit. So, you know, I'm kind of like, yeah, fuck whatever. You know, I don't believe it's the fucking moon, okay? But I do believe that there is something they were looking for to make sure it didn't leak out. So somebody might have had a dead man switch or something that when they died or something else and the video was going to go up and then YouTube said, or the powers that be said, find this fucking thing, make sure it doesn't go up because that's detrimental to the shit we've got going on. Now, that's one option, okay? And there's some, I think there's enough bullshit going on where something like that could be valid with this environment we're in right now where there's so much hatred and so much divisive shit. If something came out on either side to bolster their position, it could be something, you know, devastating. I think that could have been it. Now, my real thinking is this. I think, because as I look at the stats and I look at people that were watching YouTube gracefully go down, okay? YouTube gracefully went down. This was not a server crash. YouTube is not one server. YouTube is motherfucking legion, okay? The amount of servers, virtual servers, and all this other shit that they've got running is mind-numbingly huge. So, when you have something that's that big, and you have all these fucking servers, now if you're patching these servers, you're updating these servers with a new algorithm, some kind of a new spy tech to work in tandem with Google, Facebook, any of them, okay? As we do these embeds in these different social environments, you know, I'm sure YouTube would love to get that level, that granular level of detail to paint a better picture about us individuals, okay? I suspect that's what happened. I think it was an update. I think they updated it with some nasty new shit that we're going to see at some point that they're going to use to police us, make sure we don't fucking leak shit out that they don't want leaked out. And it might have been an opportunity, so they might have had the software for a while. When we do our shit, for example, sometimes we'll have an adverse situation present itself. And when it does, we go, ooh, since we're going to have downtime, let's do this. Let's reroute cables. Let's move this drive here. Let's do this. Let's do that. We try to consolidate this so we have less downtime, okay? So it could have been two different things that happened, but they used the time that they had to do some other updates. That's why you notice we didn't get any definitive shit from YouTube, at least nothing I've heard of yet, where they've come out and said, oh, well, we had this monkey that was running in a lab, jacking off and shooting into fucking computers, and it was frying them out, okay? I think that would have been a little bit more realistic than this other bullshit, you know what I'm saying? Brian says, YouTube banned/cut 200,000 news channels. I believe it. A couple of other live streams I watched had Google, hang on, my thing is in the way here, had Google.com in the live that, and they were deleting comments live. Yeah, I bet. I bet the bug was on Hillary's server. Yeah, no shit, right? No shit. And I think, really, in my heart of hearts, I think it has to do with that shit. I really do. I think it has a lot to do with what Trump's doing with the deep state. I think Hillary and them, you know, Hillary and them are in cahoots deep with Google and indirectly YouTube, okay? So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. So, you know, that being said, keep an eye. Watch what happens. I predict there's going to be some kind of a weird thing that's going to happen. I bet, Brian. I bet. There is a war going on where they're really ratcheting up the divisiveness in this country because they want to orchestrate that civil war. They desperately need that fucking civil war. And as I said last week, I think Trump is anticipating that and it's part of a big plan. And so we'll see it. We'll see if I'm just full of shit or if this stuff actually fucking happens, right? So, excuse me. You know what? Let me take a drink. Let me take a drink real quick. Give me a second here. I'm gonna try the one. Ooh, it's sour. Mm-hmm. Could be something about Khashoggi. Yeah, it could be. You might be right there, Garen. That thing is starting to really look like a big cover up, horrible thing there, and that could be detrimental to different factions. The Sods have always been kind of in Hillary's pocket, but that coup d'etat that we saw, early this year or late last year, where things happened, um, and there was a change of the guard, seemed to lean more in Trump's favor. So it could be something in there that they were trying to find, trying to block, trying to do something with. Again, we won't know. We won't know until the stuff really starts to shake out and we see some shit. Stock market, just as I predicted last week, wasn't there was no Black Monday. Thank God. There was no Black Monday, and I didn't think there would be, but I did state I thought it was going to be a gradual downward shift, and we are indeed seeing that. We're seeing there was a moderate drop, then there was a moderate gains, and then there was another drop, and then there was a tiny gain. So I think we're going to continue to see that for a while. And I think what's happening is I think the feds were ratcheting up the rates so that way when the bottom falls out, they can come back with this bullshit of, oh, look, we're cutting rates again to stimulate the economy and blah, blah, blah. That trick ain't going to work this next time around, but it is somewhat comforting to see that they are using the exact same fucking playbook, and it's kind of predictable what they're doing. So we'll keep an eye on the stocks. I I'm still leaning towards a economic collapse. I thought it was going to be end of October, middle of November. I might reassess that to say end of November because I'm watching some stuff that looks like the markets are still being propped, and I think if 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 my suspicions are correct, the markets are being fabricated and not fabricated. I'm sorry, manipulated to allow for the situations to pop off, so that the Civil War part kicks in and all this other stuff. The dollar fucking dies a horrible bloody death. Blah blah blah. Let's see here. I lagged there a minute when I started talking about the feds. That's what I'm saying, man. I wouldn't be surprised. I would not be surprised. In the event some shit happens and they decide to ban my fucking show or whatever, you guys keep just following me on fucking Facebook and I'll figure other shit out. But, it's to the point now. I think we're in game. I think we are moving into the next paradigm shift. And I'm looking forward to what I believe is going to come. And I don't think it's a make America great again. I think it's going to be make America the greatest it's ever been. And I think the only way that's going to happen is to escape from the Fed. It's also going to be to watch the dollar die. We'll see some people pushing for cryptocurrencies. I'm still on the fence in regards to that. Hey, what's up, Mr. Morris? Well, I'm not gonna actually be there. My wife is gonna be there. My wife will be there for 4 months. Hey, Mr. Morris, did you see Irish Zombie Nation did the combat role for you? He did the yeah. I think it was a he did the little combat role, the Captain Kirk role. Anyway, I just want to make sure you are aware of that because he did that explicitly for you, Mr. Morris. Um, so I think after we see a pretty rough patch that will probably last anywhere from 6 months to a year, I sent them shits Leo's my new Leo's my new hero. Oh, I watched that shit. I was crying. I was crying. Leo's the motherfucker, dude. He cracked me the fuck up with that shit. And that moonshine shit was hilarious too. I was dying as he drank that fucking ass shit. It was great. It was great. Um, Coming soon to the planet formerly known as Earth is now Planet America. No, it's not going to be anything like that, Tenchi. I think what we're going to end up seeing is some isolationist type activity. There's still global markets and everything, but I think what will happen is America will be combined with Canada as well as Mexico, and that will be the North American Union. And then Russia still be Russia, China still be China, but they will have regional shit that they are interested in, and basically will be a unified front. It'll be a new fucking, I don't even want to say triad, but it's like a new council of the elites or something like that. But it won't be this old guard that's been owning us and making us slaves. It'll be something I think that will allow the North America Union, whatever ends up being called, America will still be taking care of America, and Mexico and Canada will take care of their own respected areas, but will be unified, and we'll have this new currency. And the best part is all of the debt is going to reset. It doesn't necessarily mean that. It doesn't mean that fucking we won't have our bills and shit. It just means that the feds and the banking cartels that existed before are going to be gone. So there might be like this new Bank of Trump, and then all the credit card companies attached to that because they don't want to be left in a void where they're not making their fucking money. So, if you still have personal credit or whatever, it'll be interesting because that was set to dollars. So now they might have to say something like, okay, fuck that. You know what? If they really wanted the Americans to be fucking happy, how about this shit? If the dollar died and there's a whole new currency, how fucking sick would it be if the motherfuckers came straight out and said, with the exception of things like property and cars, things of that nature that has some kind of a monetary value to it that would be reassessed in a new currency. But all of the other debts, like the credit debts, the school debts, the shit that was attached to the banks, you know, that is different. What if they forgave some of that? Oh my God, people would be fucking in the streets, dancing and screaming, happy as fuck. Oh, I don't have $100,000 student debt. Oh, I don't have this. Oh, I don't have that. The only bills I really have is my house, my car, and obviously groceries and shit like that. Everything else is reset. Now you'd have to you'd have to be you'd have to go and redo your credit scores and things of that nature. They'd have to look at your earnings and things of that, and go from there. But I think that would be fun. I think people would actually be stoked about that. And then especially if the new currency is actually backed by gold. So if they went back to a gold standard, or they went back to just a multi-tiered uh, precious commodity, so it's like some of the market is segmented and backed by gold, some is by silver, some is by copper, some is whatever, 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 whatever. And so now it's not just backed as a fiat currency where a bank is just churning out money hand over fist. Then now we actually have a, a, a monetary system that is actually backed by something tangible. And I think that would just be glorious, because at that point, now we actually have something where we can compete, because the petrodollar is going to China. China is going to be the preferred currency backing oil. You know what I mean? And so it's gonna be some interesting shit. NWO is funded by George Soros and supporters of the old left-wing Nazi regime, fascism. Yes, that is a piece of it, but we're also talking about the Rothschild, the Rockefellers, the banking cartels, these huge conglomerates that are all part of that Illuminati, the Western Illuminati, that has been controlling things for a very, very long time. So when we have this outside regime, the triad, the Chinese Illuminati backing Trump, he'll be able to pull his gank moves and everything and slide us away from those guys. And I think that's going to have a lot of good sides, but I also think there's going to be some shitty stuff. You know what I mean? Um, let's see here. Has anyone seen the video from Survival Lily about her new knife, the Appa One? No, have not seen that. Um, you know, tangible currency equals gold standard. Yes, exactly. But I think we have to be careful because a lot of our gold got stolen. So we don't have as much gold as we had once before. So we're going to have to change it up a little bit. We're going to have some other things in there. And I wouldn't be surprised if they do some kind of a hybrid thing where part of the economy is tied to this new Amero and the other part is tied to some kind of cryptocurrency, whether it be Bitcoin or something else. I think that's going to be interesting to see. Garen, no, I have not seen that blade yet, but I will definitely check it out because I like blades. Okay, so what else was I going to fucking tell you guys about? The new Halloween is out. I have not seen it. I want to see it. I love Halloween as a fucking scary ass movie. I'm liking the scary movies right now just because it's part of my escape from the scary fucking world. Because the world right now is in a very interesting negative space, and I kind of, you know what, I'm gonna go a deeper rabbit hole with you folks. I'm gonna share something with you. So there was exactly, Brian, Fort Knox is fucking empty as fuck. Um, there was a time where my wife got me an appointment to see a psychic named Suzanne Wagner, I believe is her name. Real nice lady, super fucking cool. She reads body language. She's very calming. She saw my mannerisms and then she just started pulling shit out of the air, which was very insightful on her part. And I was like, interesting, interesting. Well, I've been following her little email updates or astrology updates on a regular basis. And I think this is interesting because this is also kind of tie into some scientific shit that you can go find on stuff like BP Earthwatch, Suspicious Observer. So right now we've got this really crazy alignment right now where a lot of the planets are lined up. A lot of the major players are lined up. And we just saw the magnetopause the other day reverse as the solar winds came kicking in from the other side of our planet opposite to the sun, which was really interesting. Now, she had told me in this email that we are entering a very chaotic, stressful period where everybody's basically going to go a little ape shit. They're going to go a little woo woo, and that we should just be aware that just like the solar wind just reversed, a lot of our feelings and stuff are going to get reversed. We're going to feel things we haven't felt before. We're going to clean up some of the negativity that we've been kind of holding on to. That's going to come to the front, and people are just going to be in a very shitty fucking mood, to be completely blunt. They're going to be fucking animals. Because the average person, when they get into a negative mindset, they don't mind acting a fool because society allows us to do things in the name of anger or frustration, etc. So, why do I bring this up? Because I'm noticing a pattern here that people are talking about as I'm talking with friends and family. This is a negative thing. This is a horrible event going on. I'm fighting with this person. I have this going on. And even in my own personal life, with feelings that I'm feeling and things of that nature, I'm noting a lot of amplification on the negative spectrum of things. Okay, now that's kind of cool in a way because in a void, where you're just experiencing that, you would be like, what the fuck? Why do I feel this way? Why am I so unhappy? Why am I miserable right now? And then you would start to extrapolate and look at things around you and start placing blames on things that might not really be the culprits of why you feel that way. Okay. Now, if this is just a environmental thing and we're getting bombarded by electric magnet EMFs and things of that nature, we're also getting hit by solar wind, different electrons, things that are affecting us in adverse ways, especially our mental equilibrium there. That's fine because now we know what also might be causing it. Okay, that's important because we need to try extra hard. We have to push extra fucking hard to be that much more positive, to fight, to make it a more positive environment. Okay. Now, how long is this going to last? She said in the email, this is going to push all the way to 2020. And we hear a lot of interesting things kind of culminating in 2020. So let's see. Always knew you were a pirate. um, exactly. R. Yep, that's right. But so try to find the funny in things. Try not to let shit overwhelm you because look, we're all a little bit apprehensive. We're all a little bit afraid of, the unknown, the shit that could be popping off and everything. But I challenge you to try to keep your head. You get mad, take a breath, take a beat, take a knee, do whatever you got to do to calm the fuck down and don't allow somebody to get your fucking goat, okay? And just ride this bitch out till 2020. It might seem like that's really far away, but it's really not. It's really not. And just understand there are things outside of your control that are adversely affecting your mind, the way things are happening. Now, the other end of the spectrum, okay, so that's more of the astrological, which has science to substantiate this. Because remember now, our body is mostly made of liquid. So we are susceptible to things like harmonics. We are susceptible to things like gravitational pull. So if you take a look, for example, at our oceans, why do we have waves? Because of the fucking moon. There's a gravitational pull. So that's why you ever notice they say the ERs get fucking packed and crazy when there's a full moon out. Okay, so these are things that we hear about. We don't ever do correlations and connections with, but we probably should. We should be always looking for stressors, environmental stressors that are adversely affecting us, whether it be the air, the stuff that's in the air, whether it be stuff that's in our water, the stuff that they put in our fucking water. They're always trying to manipulate us. Okay, now mentally we're off balance. We're looking at this. You're on the right side, you're on the left side, you're on the Trump side, you're on the deep state side. There's all of this divisiveness. What we need to do is be able to bridge this shit, find people, regardless of whatever their leanings are, and still find commonality to pull us all together as Americans. You know what I mean? And then realize a lot of people have shared experiences. You know what I'm saying? Tenchi myth, Robert R. Ricks is a pirate. Proof there are between Robert and Ricks means rum. Oh, okay. Myth. Proof. Okay. Actually, the R in the middle stands for Richard. Means I'm a dick. Means I'm a fucking dick. 2020, isn't that the election year? Yes, it is. It is. Not only that, there are a lot of predictions and doomsday stuff that talks about 2020. And so, the thing that people have to understand with this doom and gloom, this doom porn shit that just fucking surrounds us and permeates the air and just seems to fucking exhaustively smother us, you need to be able to take a step back and go, really? So the world's going to fucking end again? Look, if the world fucking ends, the world fucking ends. Who gives a shit? You're fucking done. It's a fucking finished thing, right? While we're here, find the people that matter to you. Find the causes and goals that you fucking want to support and achieve and focus on that shit. Make yourself a better person. Have a fucking good time. Drink. Do whatever it is you want to do to make your life better. But find ways to enjoy yourself smile, and be just a generally better person than the person next to you. If the person next to you is a cocksucker, ignore them. Don't even give them the fucking, time of day. Just find a way to make yourself better. Laugh. Fucking watch comedies. Laugh at fucking everything. We shouldn't be taking too much shit too goddamn serious because that causes stress. Stress causes fucking problems in our body. And we don't need that shit. We need happiness. We need to be able to sit back and fucking, hey, did you do this? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, hey, that was fucking fun, right? Hey, did you watch this? I did. Oh my God, I laughed so hard I fucking pissed my pants. We want to find things to make life worth fucking living. Because at the end of the day, life is pretty goddamn short. Like, I blink and my daughter, who is a baby, is graduated from fucking high school and is in college. I blinked and that shit happened. You know what I mean? So, anyway, uh, yes, yes, Garrett, that is fucking funny. So Garrett says, "Isn't the story about Warren's DNA test funny as hell?" Yes, it's like there's a meme I saw that had me fucking in stitches. It had a mosquito on an arm, and it said just like that, she was no longer Native American. I'm like, who gives a fuck? That shit makes me laugh. It makes me laugh. One thing that doesn't make me laugh, and this could be an indicator of some more genetic manipulation or weaponized something. I'm not quite sure yet, but there's a thing called AFM, and it's actually it's kind of spooky. It's called acute flaccid let me see, how do I say this? Myelitis. Myelitis, I guess. So, yeah, no shit, right? Backwards is put it on a fucking shirt. That's what I'm fucking saying. But this right here is kind of interesting because the reason I have this on my radar is the fact that doctors and researchers have no idea why this shit is happening. Now, I'm postulating that, again, we're right now getting bombarded by a lot of things that we're not used to having hit us. Okay? I'm wondering if some of that stuff is interfering with the neurons and stuff inside of the mind that affects the nervous system, which is now causing the paralysis. It might be that somebody is sitting there more receptive to that energy, and as it hits them, because a lot of these seem to be children. So as they're getting hit, it might be affecting their nervous system and causing these polio-like symptoms. That's one theory. I don't know, but I do know that this is kind of corresponding with it. Now, this also popped up 2014. The same exact stuff popped up and affected, I believe, 100 different kids. So when I see something that's kind of small, where you have a small sampling of somebody, and then suddenly you see a larger one, that means something is escalating. Something is causing it. Now, if it's not something inside of a localized area, a chemical, things of that nature, then you'd have to start wondering, well, what on the environmental side is affecting it? Now, if you can't go from the environmental side and you can't go traditional standard science, that's when you start to go to what some folks would say pseudoscience, that I just call paranormal, esoteric type stuff. It could also be that maybe there's something on a vibrational pattern that is adversely affecting these kids. And I think it definitely coincides with what we see going on with the environment, with the solar winds and stuff like that hitting from space. So it could be that, could be something. All right, Backwoods, you be safe, brother. Yeah, 1024th. Whoops. It used to be whenever you were talking about how much percentage wise you had for tribes and things of that nature to accept. Like, I remember in Hawaii, for them to say, um, you are Hawaiian, you had to have 10% Hawaiian in your DNA makeup before they acknowledged that you had enough to be classified as a Native American. Not Native American, but Polynesian or Pacific Islander. Hawaiian. And I believe they were doing something like that also with the Native Americans, for you to be able to qualify for government assistance that was granted for Native Americans, you had to have a certain amount of a certain percentage of blood to prove that you were entitled to those programs. So when you see something like 1,024th, that's fucking laughable. That's like whatever. I would speculate if you get to that granular level of 1,024, uh, you could see in a region that a fucking shit ton of people probably have more Native American than that. So, fuck, it is what it is. I mean, that shit also is distractionary, just silly fucking things. So Brian says different tribes require different amounts, which makes perfect fucking sense because, the tribes, they kind of regulate, have their own laws, their own stuff like that, especially on the reservations. And there's land grants and things of that nature that also happen. So they're very specific. They want to make sure if you're saying, well, I am this and that and everything else, they're like, okay, bitch, prove that shit. Let's fucking see it, And if you're just walking off the street, fucking, yeah, I want some fucking free land and blah, 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 they're like, motherfucker, please, don't, kill a motherfucker for that shit. All right. So, getting back to mindset, guys, it's urgent. This is probably the most important thing you have to keep in mind. You want to be uh, receptive to positivity. If you fixate all the time on negativity, you're inviting that shit more into your life. We tell our kids, if you surround yourself with good people, you have a good life. You surround yourself with shitty people, you have a shitty life. And we see this play out time and time again. But let's kind of extrapolate that a little bit and throw it also into your mindset. So if you are walking around negative Nancy, and I do this from time to time, I'll get in a real nasty, funky mood, and I'm a fucking nasty, negative motherfucker. And then I notice when I'm in that mindset, I get more of that shit. But when I get something hits me and I laugh at it and I shake it off and I try to make it into a joke or something else and I just find the funny part of it and make it a little bit lighter, even if it's dark humor, I find that things get a little easier to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Let's see here. Garrett says there are two Native American nations that really don't use DNA at all: Cherokee and Seminole. Bronx Jackalope says I have 12% Native American. Nice. The funny thing is, I thought I had Native American in me, and then my mom bought me this, gifted me for my birthday, a DNA test, and it turns out I'm fucking half Irish and half Japanese. It was really fucking funny. The 1024 is only because the testing included European Spaniards in Central South American in the data test. The first three tests were 0% Native American DNA and European Spaniards. She gets the 1024th. Yeah, I would too if I thought I was going to get $1 million fucking payday to something and get some good press and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Cherokee requires 132. Yeah, 130, 132. 130 seconds, I guess. I don't know how you would say that. But really, I mean, it's kind of fun to see where you come from, and that's cool because that puts us in tribes where we can have something in common with another group of people. But above and beyond that, it's kind of like, okay, yeah, I've got a piece of shit sister, but I have five friends that I consider my family because of shit that we go through and things that we've experienced and done together. So it's kind of like, okay, yeah, you've got all these bloodlines and everything, but at the end of the day, the family that you're talking about is actually America. So instead of us saying, you know, African American, Irish American, blah blah blah, we should just say American, and just say, you know, fuck, we're all different. We all bring things to the table, different experiences and thoughts and things of that nature. But at the end of the day, the thing that makes us really fucking special is the fact that we're all fucking Americans. And that's really, I think, where we're going to end up. I think after all the pain, all the fucking trials and tribulations that we're going to go through, because we're going to go through some shit. There is no fucking way around it. But after we make it through, and the strong ones, the mentally strong people that will dig deep and realize, fuck it, we're American, they will be unified. And then we will again be powerful, not because of military, not because of financial, not because of any of that shit, but because we have a commonality where we respect each other, we love each other, and we work our asses off to make it better, not just for our generation, but the next generation and the generation after that. That is what's going to be super important. So, uh, family, the people I consider family, are here every week. See, that's my point. You know, Brian says Canada, U.S., Mexico, etc. We are Americans. Yes, North American, South America, Central America. That's my point. And then once we do that paradigm shift in our thinking, now we're not saying, oh, these fucking Mexicans, or oh, these Canadians, you know. We might still have our little ethnic jokes because we do that. It's funny. But imagine the power that that's going to create with no borders. So you can go, with some kind of our centralized ID. You want to take a road trip from the tippity top of fucking Canada all the way down to Mexico? You can. You don't have to have all these different fucking passports and everything else. You just have one centralized ID that you just traverse that big ass, you know, body of fucking land. And I think that's going to make things very interesting. Now, should you have borders and things of that nature to kind of protect yourself from cartels, things of that nature? Sure, inside of troubled areas, yeah, you might still want to have some kind of security and some kind of protocols for people to come and go and everything else. But ultimately, what will happen is once people start to realize we're coming together, then we start to support each other and we start to figure out where the cancer is at. And then as a unified front, we start to excise that cancer. And then imagine the power you would have if you had this North American Union and you had support of Russia and you had support of China, and they all worked together to find these different spots of problems and weed them out completely. That would be great. Now, it wouldn't be a utopia because obviously you're going to have differences from different things and people are not going to like certain things, and people are always, there's a lot of people adverse to change, and we're talking not just change, we're talking transformative, ridiculous, monster change, which for the average human being is gonna fucking mind fuck them. They're not gonna know what the fuck to do. That's why I'm saying it's gonna be very interesting, and there's gonna be a lot of pain. But when the pain subsides, right? So just think about it as like childbirth. A woman's going through all this pain, the worst pain she's ever experienced in her entire life, and then something is actually born out of that. I think that's where we're gonna go. I think that's where we're gonna go. Hey man, I'm doing pretty good. How you doing, Full Moon? Huh? How you doing, man? Let's see here. Brian says you can get UN passport that serves as a universal passport, but I don't trust the UN and the socialist agenda. Yeah, they're gonna go bye-bye too. I think their purpose is gone. They're not gonna be needed anymore. I think what we're gonna see happen is there's gonna be there's just going to be the China, Russia, and the North American Union. That's where it's going to go. Walking and talking. Hey, fucking A, man. I mean, shit. As long as you're not fucking crawling and something. Sometimes howling. Hey, man. Howling's good. Sometimes you have to go a little mad just to kind of clear out the energy. That's the other thing, too, guys. I'll say this, and this will kind of end up this show. You need to find outlets. We all have too much pressure building up, and in this pussy generation that we have now, where people can't get into a normal fight without fear of some crazy shit, you need to find something. Whether you work out, whether you find a punching bag, where you scream into a fucking pillow. I don't give a shit. But you got to find something to help blow out this negative shit. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. Howling's fucking awesome. If you go out, get naked, run through the woods, howl at the motherfucking moon. Oh, fuck it. It is what it is. Oh, let's see here. Yes, right. You got to divert the negative energy. You got to take it out and put it somewhere else because otherwise it becomes a cancer that you're inflicting on your own body. And none of us wants that shit. You got to find a way to make things fucking bearable. And I'm telling this to you guys because it's going to get worse before it gets better. And if you're not mentally prepped, the shit might just fuck you up. And we don't want that. So, join a fight club. Exactly. Exactly. And we just want to, it's been said that only love can conquer evil. And I do believe that. I do believe that. But I think the love that's most important, before you love people outside, you need to learn how to love yourself. You need to be comfortable in your own fucking skin. You need to be able to accept your shortcomings and understand you're learning. You're just figuring shit out, just like everybody else. Some people figure shit out faster than others. Some people take a while, right? But don't beat yourself up. You do what you could do, and you say, you know what? Every day I'm trying to make progress, and that's what you're doing. That was weird. I wonder why they closed the fucking door. They don't like my messaging. Exactly, full moon. That's right. You keep swallowing the anger and the stress, it will taint your fucking soul. Taint, taint, taint. You don't want that shit. So, anyway, that's going to be, we're going to wrap the show up now. I won't be able to do a show next week. I want to do some birthday shouts ahead of time. If I'm not mistaken, I believe Magic's birthday is next Saturday. I believe that's what he told me. Happy motherfucking early fucking birthday. I'm going to try to also make sure I tell you that on your fucking birthday. It is my good friend Rod Sias's fucking birthday today. Happy motherfucking birthday, brother. I hope if you watch this, I don't even know if you watch my fucking show, but I'm sending the good vibes out to your ass anyway. Happy motherfucking birthday. And to other motherfuckers that I don't know, but it's your birthday, it's your birthday. We gonna party like it's your birthday. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking have a good one. Have a good fucking time, guys. You know what I'm saying? Tenchi, I mean, you're not the only one. It is something we all do. That's why you have to practice it. You have to work at it. Remember, guys, it takes 21 fucking days to build a habit. So if you've done 20 plus years with bad habits, it's going to take some time to unwind that shit, to reprogram yourself. But the good news is anybody could do it. It's just a little bit hard. And as I said, people are kind of averse to change. So ease into it. Slide into it. You know what I'm saying? You too, Steve. You too. You definitely take care, motherfucker. I want to make sure you're fucking good. All you motherfuckers that are in here are like extended family to me that... What did Tidgy say? Tidgy, really good. Let's see. Putting my anger... Putting a cork, you said, fucking Magic. Magic read that shit and I'm guilty of putting a cock on my fucking anger at times. You're so bad, Magic. Oh, shit. You know what, Brian? Look, man, it is. It's a fucking hard. But here's the good news. For all of us that have a hard time with change, it don't matter. Because there's massive change coming. And nobody's going to be able to avoid it. So, when it happens, that's when you take the time to go ahead and start adapting change. Because guess what? It's going to happen. You know what I mean? It's kind of like if suddenly all the lights went out and there's no light visible anymore, you will have to change and adapt to that new environment. And at first, it'll be hard as hell. But then you adapt. That's one of the beautiful things of being human. All right, guys, that's it for now. If you like it, please subscribe. Tell your friends far and wide. Until next time, motherfuckers, please be good to yourself, good to each other. live life to the fullest. Go out, have some fucking adventures, get some scars, ride the bus till the wheels fall off and all that jazz. Find some love. Do whatever you could do to make your life livable and live it to the fullest. All right, guys. Like I said, I won't be here next week, but I will be back the following week. All right? So be good. Don't do crazy shit. All right. Later, guys.